Hello everybody and welcome to another week of Without Having Kicked a Ball. It's that time again where we delve into a football frenzy and dissect the top four divisions. I am back today as your host, and joining me is the man this channel is on, TubeMix. Hello.
Hello, Ben. Yeah, good to be back and great to have you back on the show, mate. We've missed you and I'm raring to go.
Thank you. It's good to be back. To start with, we're going to start with United and Nottingham Forest. But before we do that, I'm just going to mention the day I had yesterday. Now, obviously, as a United fan, it was a great day for me. And that was that I got invited to the United Christmas party, which you get to go to every 4 years if you're lucky, and meet the players. They take time out to sign autographs, have photos, all different kinds of things. So yeah, very good day yesterday. With that being said, now move on to the football. So, Will, give me your thoughts for Saturday's game at Old Trafford.
Well, I said when I was hosting this show with Sam, when Sam was hosting this show, and, was it a question of, so United obviously thrashed Everton 4-0, but was it United were good or was it that Everton were poor? And I think, drawing against Ipswich and, the results against Nottingham Forest, I think United, I can't quite tell what's happening there. It seems to be... It seems to be there's no clear direction. It seems to be very confusing. Yesterday broke the news that, I think it was yesterday, that Dan Ashworth, after all that hoo-ha, of appointing him from Newcastle and then him being put on gardening leave, and to now they've decided to get rid of him. It blows my mind. I don't know what's happening there, and it just utterly baffles me. United, I think that they're good attacking. They've got some good players. Rashford seems to be back to his best. Højlund seems to be a good player, but defensively, well, although having said that, there's still, I don't think that they're not fantastic, the forwards, but they are better than you can see a clear plan on who's good, as opposed to the defence, which is just absolutely dreadful. So yeah, I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I think it makes some good points there, especially about Dan Ashworth leaving and things like that.
Yeah, it was a bit of a soap opera, wasn't it? In the summer, that situation, and then having to pay Newcastle, compensation money to get Ashworth, now they've decided to get rid of him. It really baffles me. Can I just ask, Ben, so as you met the players, what was the atmosphere like, obviously, with United's form being so poor on the pitch? What was the atmosphere like there?
To be honest, the atmosphere, you once had thought we'd just come off the back of a loss. I think, when you meet the players and get a chance to do that, everyone's in awe, kind of, and the players themselves were very smiley and approachable. So yeah, hopefully that kind of mood can translate on the pitch in the coming weeks. It's going to be tough because we got a tough run coming up. But yeah. Speaking specifically about Saturday. You know, it was a stormy game for United. Pardon the pun.
A bit like the weather.
That was when the storm was active, but yeah.
Storm Dara.
Yeah. Comical defending, silly mistakes, and then Nottingham Forest on the other hand were just clinical. And at one point, when they got the first goal in the second or third minute, they caught us cold, and after that we had a lot of control of the first half, but never really ramped it home. And there's been, other than the Everton game, we've had plenty of controlling games, but it's come back to bite us, because ultimately football is about how many goals you score.
Well, of course, yeah, absolutely.
And outscoring the opponents,
yeah.
And that's what Forest did. So fair play to Forest. They keep their fairy tale season going. I think they might be 5th now, I want to say. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there might be. Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about it, isn't it?
Yes, it is crazy. Yeah. But they deserve it.
They do. They played better than us. They capitalised on our woeful errors. Like, for example, Anana, he's been very consistent this season.
Yes, he has. Even when the team's been poor, he has been a good...
Yeah.
He has performed very well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been a bright spot. But even on Saturday, he let in a howler. I think it was from Gibbs White's goal that he should have...
Yes, that was right. Yeah.
That he should have stopped. But, speaking of United, there's no better fixture to put it right.
Manchester Derby, isn't it? Against City.
The Manchester Derby. And at City, yeah, and I'll be there. I'll be cheering on the boys. And just wrapping this up, unless you want to add anything more, Will.
No, I think I've said all I wanted to say. So yeah, no, you go ahead, Ben.
I'll finish on this. The day I had yesterday,
yes,
it will be a 6-minute clip on the build-up to the Manchester Derby on Sky. So if you want to see what the day was like,
fantastic! They filmed some of it, did they? Right?
Yes, they did.
Oh, fantastic! And did you appear on camera, Ben?
Well, you'll have to find out.
Oh, you're not giving anything away, man of mystery, folks.
Yes, you'll have to find out. Right, the football doesn't stop there though, because we are moving on to a Sunday game. That is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It was Tottenham 3, Chelsea 4. A basketball game, really.
A fantastic game, because can I just say before you go on, Ben, you know, sometimes these derbies tend to be very tight because nobody wants to lose and managers often, park the bus. But no, this game was really, really fantastic. Great game to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. As you say, derby games can be tight. They can be like a game of chess. But this was the absolute opposite. As I said, it was like a basketball game. You didn't know what was going to happen next. No. Chelsea were victorious by 4-3.
Yes.
So give me your thoughts, Will.
Well, I think Chelsea deserved it. I think Spurs must be one of the most confusing teams this season. Because on the one hand, they can beat Manchester City 4-0. and then on the other hand, they can lose to a team that you'd expect them to beat. And, we often do say the same things on this show, but as long as the same problems continue, then there's not much more else to say.
Exactly.
I can't get my head around Tottenham. I think it'll be interesting to see Son's contract comes to an end. There was rumours I saw of him going to Galatasaray. And would you blame him if he left Tottenham? Because they don't. It seems to be 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And he must be so sick and fed up now because, the club is not going anywhere really. There's no clear direction.
No, he'll definitely be scratching his head. I just worry for Son. Is it too little too late, maybe? But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, and sorry, Ben, did you see, I was reading about Christian Romero. He did an interview on live TV, criticising the board for their spending and having to go at Daniel Levy. I thought that was very interesting as well.
Yeah, that is interesting because you don't often hear players say their honest thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Publicly, I can, obviously, I'm sure you remember that interview that Ronaldo did with Piers Morgan, and then after that interview, that sealed his exit from the club, didn't it? From United.
Yes, it did, and ultimately, I don't know how serious they'll take it, but same could happen with Romero, if that is the case. And it's
it's going to be interesting. Although I think though Ronaldo, although you'd have to say yes, Ronaldo's a big star, but clearly they tolerated no nonsense from him and they got him out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now, really, with Romero.
Yeah, exactly. As far as the football goes, though, you used an analogy a few weeks ago.
Jekyll and Hyde FC. Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah, and that's fitting for Tottenham. Obviously, they raced into an early lead. Cucurella slipping twice.
Yes, I know. I tell you what, he'll have to make sure he won't wear those boots. In fact, I saw on Match of the Day 2 when I was watching. They showed an Instagram post of him putting his boots in the bin.
Yeah, he did. I saw that as well.
Yeah.
But it's same old story for Spurs. The capitulation. And for me personally, Will, and I'll get your take on this.
Well, I've said all I wanted to say really on this, so yeah, go ahead, Ben.
What's your take on Ange Postecoglou's style? Because I say that because there's a lot of talk on Sky Sports after the game about how if he doesn't change, it's
going to cost him his job. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's your thoughts on that? Because is it stubborn and stupid, or is it admirable that it doesn't change? What's your stance?
I think there's both sides to it. See, on one hand, you've got to admire for someone to stick into their principles. On the other hand, if you're so stubborn and you're constantly losing games and conceding goals and not having a good run of results because you have to change. I mean, look at Mikel Arteta. He's found 2 ways to play. One is the great attacking football that Arsenal play, and 2, like the game against Manchester City where they grinded out a result. And I think Liverpool are also the same as well. They've got the good start the football, but again they have resilience and they can grind up results when they need to as well. So I think on one hand I can see why Andrew's right, but on the other hand, I think same with Russell Martin at Southampton. If it's not getting you results, you have to be able to adapt. If you don't, then he's going to be out the door. If things don't improve soon, I think, yeah, really, you've got to be open to playing more than one way. Fair enough if you have a preferred playing style, and that's your main style. I get that, and I think that's fair enough. But you've got to be able to adapt in certain matches, and great managers do that, great clubs do that, and Tottenham are paying the price, I think, for Ange's stubbornness.
I 100% agree. I think it was just to finish off on this point. I think it was Jim Beglin or John Champion. Of them.
Yeah, probably one of those two. They usually, in a duo,
One of them said last week when they lost to Bournemouth in the midweek games that they can beat the best but lose to the rest, and that's kind of
I think they're both spot on there.
Yeah, because they thrashed City, didn't they? But
they did, yeah,
and showed the potential. But again,
but then roll on the next game, and then they lose or draw, and they're back a few steps.
Yes, and I think Spurs, one of Spurs' directors, came out and said that Ange's position wasn't in trouble. He still had their full backing. And don't get me wrong, the way he plays is exciting. If you're a neutral, it's very exciting. But if you're a Spurs fan, it would drive you mad because every game feels like a basketball game. And I think it was Jamie Carragher who said, if you play like that all the time, you're not going to win anything. As you said, you have to be able to adapt. So,
yes.
It'd be interesting to see how far Ange takes Spurs, really.
It will be very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but that concludes that game.
But I just want to say how good Chelsea are at the moment. There seems to be such a good feeling, and let's not forget a large majority of this squad were with Pochettino last year. What a great job that Maresca is doing, and there seems to be such a great feel-good factor at Chelsea, and they utterly deserve it. They've been brilliant, and I just want to say how cool Carl Palmer was when he took his second penalty. So relaxed, like there was no stress in the world. Amazing.
Well, that's reflective of his personality, isn't it?
Have you seen his interviews? It's just straight one-word answered.
Yeah, they are quite funny, aren't they? Yeah. And you're right, actually. I didn't give Chelsea enough praise. So before we move on, I'll give them some praise as well. Okay. I think they executed their game plan perfectly. When Spurs were coming back into the game, they tweaked personnel and positions around.
Yes.
And it had the desired effect. As you say, Maresca, what a brilliant job he's done.
I think also, can I just say, I think he's good at putting arms around players, but also showing great discipline. So if something's not right, he's not afraid to drop a top player to the bench, and I think that's what you need to be a good manager, and I think Maresca has both those qualities as well.
Yeah, you need that ruthlessness.
Which Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I never felt it with him. I never felt it of that ruthlessness. He was weak.
Yeah, well, we don't know behind the scenes, but it certainly seemed that way. But yeah, just continuing it for a minute or so on Chelsea.
Yes.
I think Maresca, the job he's done, has gone under the radar, and he really deserves his flowers. You know, coming in, the identity from the Clear Lake owners was just to spend big and spend it on youth, and that brought about a big squad.
Yes.
He's come in, he's trimmed it down.
He has. Yeah.
I remember earlier on in the season, when Joe Felix signed, Jamie Carragher said, he said, I fear for where all these players are going to fit in, and he's just calmed the noise around everything. And because they are where they are, they're second. They are genuine title contenders now.
Yes,
do I think they're gonna win it? No, I think they need a better keeper.
Yes, because Robert Sanchez always seems to have a mistake in him, doesn't he? Every game.
Yes, he does.
I think I'm going to go with Chelsea to finish in the top 4. I think ahead of Tottenham and ahead of United, because they're better than those two put together.
Yes. Yeah. Fair play to Chelsea. Fair play to Maresca. His machine rolls on.
Yes.
The last game we're going to talk about is another game that was on Sunday. Another home game for the newly Leicester boss.
Yeah.
Ruud Van Nistelrooy against Brighton. Now the away side soared into a lead and followed it up with a second, but as the game neared its conclusion, Leicester fought back to 2-2, and Van Nistelrooy gained a valuable point. He's 4 points from 2 games now. So what was your thoughts, Will?
Well, I think clearly he's only had a few games in charge, but clearly he seems to be building a run together. Obviously, it's very early days.
Everyone seems to like Van Nistelrooy.
He does seem a very likeable guy, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And also, what I was going to say was 2-0 down. You'd thought they'd be down and out, but shows great character to come back.
Yes, it does.
That could be a valuable point for them come the end of the season.
Could be. I still don't think they'll go down, because I think they're, Ipswich and Southampton, I think will definitely... I don't know though. Ipswich seem to be actually playing generally better. But yeah, I still don't think Leicester will go down, because I think they've still got a very good squad, and I don't think they'll go down.
Yeah, it's a funny one, that, isn't it? Because Ipswich may be playing a little bit better, but they're not getting the points, whereas Leicester are.
Yeah.
And
actually, no, I'm going to go for Ipswich, Southampton, and who else to go down?
You could throw Wolves in there.
Well, potentially.
If they don't
Wolves have got a good squad. I can't see them going down. Yeah, I don't know. I can't quite decide who would be the third team.
Everton should be in the mix.
Yes, although again, I can't see them going down. That would be really something for them to go down. But imagine if Liverpool won the title and Everton were relegated.
That'd be horrible. Not for the Liverpool fans though. They'd be in dreamland.
Oh yeah.
But,
cherry on top, winning the title, and even made more sweet by Everton's demise.
It was a rude awakening for Brighton, though.
Yes.
When they lost their 2-goal lead. pardon the pun, but only positives for Leicester. Jamie Vardy doing it again.
Well, he is such a good player, isn't he, Vardy?
Yes, his consistency that he shows at his age. Bear in mind, he blossomed late. I think he made his Premier League debut at 27. Now that is a late.
Wow, yeah, that is late for a football player.
Yeah, and he's still going strong.
Yeah,
so
he's one of the last ones remaining from that title-winning squad.
I think he is the last one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because after Kasper Schmeichel's departure, and you're right, yeah.
Fair play to Leicester and Van Nistelrooy.
Do you reckon Vardy will retire if they do go down to the Championship? Do you think Vardy will retire?
Probably. I think he'll retire anyway.
Oh, he'll retire anyway, yeah.
Who knows with Jamie Vardy? He's unpredictable. So, yeah, over to you then, Will, with the other results. Unless you want to say anything more.
No, I've said everything that I've needed to, and yeah. Right, so, thank you, Ben. So, we start with Saturday, the 7th of December. So, Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 3. What a game. So, Ramos Højlund in the 18th minute. And then Amad Diallo in the 61st minute, assisting Bruno Fernandes's goal. For Nottingham Forest, Milinkovic? Milinkovic, thank you. Assisted by Elliot Anderson in the 2nd minute. Chris Wood in the 54th minute. Assisted by Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White in the 47th minute. Assisted by Callum Hudson-Odoi. So, let's just check. Oh, yep, that's all the goals for that one. Crystal Palace 2, Manchester City 2. I honestly thought that City would be back to winning ways, but not so. Munoz in the 4th.
God.
Oh, yeah. Munoz in the 4th minute, assisted by Will Hughes. Then Lacroix in the 56th minute. Also assisted by Will Hughes. Oh, sorry, Ben, did I pronounce his name wrong?
I was just going to say, that's bloody good pronunciation for you, Will.
Oh, wow, that's great. Remember the day, folks, when I could actually pronounce the name right. The first goal was scored by Erling Haaland in the 30th minute. Assisted by Matheus Nunes. Rico Lewis in the 68th minute. And if that wasn't extraordinary enough, Rico Lewis also got sent off with a red card in the 84th minute. So after scoring, and then he was off, Bernardo Silva assisting Lewis's goal in the 68th minute. Okay, right. Brentford 4, Newcastle United 2. Right, so Mbeumo in the 8th minute, and then Wissa in the 28th minute. Norgard assisting Mbeumo's goal, and then Wissa assisted. Let's see. Wissa in the. Oh yeah, it was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, sorry, yeah. So no assist. Sorry. Right. Nathan Collins in the 56th minute, assisted by Flecken, and then Kevin Shard in the 90th minute, assisted by Mbeumo. Okay, and then Isak in the 11th minute, assisted by Murphy, and then Harvey Barnes in the 32nd minute, and Murphy assisting Barnes' goal in the 32nd minute. Okay, right. So, Aston Villa 1, Southampton 0. John Duran, who else? I mean, an amazing player. doesn't
He's a
seem to
great
start a
super
lot,
sub.
but it seems to be a one that you get off the bench, and then if you're in need of a goal, and he often does deliver, and he did that in the 24th minute. Merseyside derby was postponed. Right, Chelsea 4, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Solanke in the 5th minute, assisted by Brennan Johnson. Pedro Porro in the 11th minute assisted Kulavensky's goal, and then Song Heung-min in the 96th minute assisted by James Maddison. Jadon Sancho in the 17th minute assisted by Cucurella. Fernandez in the 73rd minute, and then 2 penalties by Cole Palmer in the 61st minute and the 84th minute. Right, there we go. Oh, let me just check that. Oh, yeah, I've done all the goals for that. Just good to check. Right, Leicester City 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Jamie Vardy in the 86th minute, and as well as that, he provided the assist for Cordova Reed?
Bobby de Cordova Reed, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, right. De Cordova Reed in the 91st minute.
That's a tongue twister, isn't
Yes,
it?
I know, yeah. Assisted by Jamie Vardy. So, yeah, a goal and assist for Vardy. So great. Sam's favourite player, Tariq Lamptey, in the 37th minute, assisted by... Oh, right, how do you pronounce this one? Estupinan?
Yes, that's a pretty good effort.
Oh, wow. Oh, great. I'm on a roll today.
Yeah, you're doing
Linter
well.
in the 79th minute, assisted by Weifer?
Weefer.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, it sounds German.
He's Dutch, I think.
Oh, he's Dutch? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
It seems very German.
Yeah.
Right. Ipswich Town 1, AFC Bournemouth 2. I tell you, this is quite funny because the player is C. Chaplin. Wouldn't it be funny if it was Charlie Chaplin? But yeah, definitely not. Chaplin in the 21st minute, assisted by Burgess. Then Unai in the 87th minute. How do you pronounce this one?
Atara,
right, thank you. In the 95th minute, and he also assisted the goal in the 87th minute. Right, Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. Raul Jimenez in the 11th minute, assisted by Tete. And William Saliba in the 52nd minute, assisted by Kai Havertz. Right, we're nearly there. And finally, we move on to... Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, I'm just checking I've not missed some. Right, sorry. West Ham United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. This was dubbed El Sacchio. And because obviously Locatelli and Gary O'Neill's jobs were on the line. Thomas Souček in the 54th minute, assisted by Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen then got a goal in the 72nd minute, assisted by Mohamed Kudus. And then Matt Doherty in the 69th minute, assisted by Atnori. And that is your results.
Right, starting off your championship results, we have the lunchtime game on Saturday the 7th. It was contested between Leeds United and Derby. Leeds winning by 2-0. It was 2 defenders getting in on the act. First, it was Joe Rodon in the 39th minute, and then 5 minutes later, Max Berber, who came on as a substitute, sealed the victory to take Leeds back to the top. And you would think they'd be candidates for automatic promotion. Last year, they missed out via the playoffs due to Southampton, but a good win for Leeds, and it keeps their train rolling on. Next up, we have a draw between Sheffield Wednesday and Preston North End. Preston struck first, Jakobsen in the 14th minute, and 14 minutes from time, Sheffield Wednesday, the Owls equalised through their ever-dependable striker, Michael Smith, for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Sunderland v Stoke, the home side, winning 2-1. Goes from Watson got a brace in the 7th minute and the 86th minute, and Kumas was Stoke's goal scorer in the 6th minute. Following that, we have Hull City and Blackburn Rovers. It was the away side, Blackburn Rovers, who came away with a 1-0 win. McLaughlin scored an own goal in the 20th minute. I will just briefly mention Hull now have a new manager in the form of Ruud Sellers, formerly Southampton and Reading manager. So it'd be interesting how he adapts to this team. You know, it didn't really work out for Hull with their new manager and the Murder Bowl title, but it'd be interesting to see how Ruud Sellers does. Next up, we have a draw between Luton and Swansea. Goals coming from Elijah Adebayo in the 17th minute, putting the Hatters into a 1-0 lead. Matt Grimes replied for the Swans in the 64th minute, ending that game 1-1. Next up on the Saturday is Millwall v Coventry. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was Frank Lampard's first win as Coventry boss. Efron Mason-Clark getting the goal just past the hour mark in the 63rd minute. Next up is a postponement again due to the weather. It was due to be played out between Plymouth and Oxford, but that will get rearranged. Next up is an emphatic win for Portsmouth over Bristol City. A valuable win for Portsmouth. They're in need of the wins. Goals came from Bishop, Jacob Murphy, brother of Josh Murphy, brother of Jacob, and Callum Lang ended with a 3-0 win in the 71st minute. Nearly there for the championship. Last game on the Saturday was another 3-0 win. This time a great coup for strugglers Queen's Park Rangers over promotion chasing Norwich. The goals came from Jimmy Dunn, I believe that is, in the 22nd minute, and a brace from Colley within 4 minutes of each other. The first coming in the 45th and the next coming in the 49th. A great victory for QPR, who their performances hasn't been reflective in their league position because they've been very good of late. I watched them against Watford last week and they deserved more. Now on the Sunday, a championship game was played out between West Brom and Sheffield United. That was 2-2, Desmond, if you will. Hegem got the Baggies off to a flying start, and Fellows was the West Brom second goal scorer. Tom Fellows, I think his name is. Sheffield United's goals, though, they came from Callum O'Hare. Probably didn't get a good reception at the Hawthorn, considering his affiliation to Coventry. The other Sheffield United goal was Therese Campbell, formerly of Stoke and the son of the late great Kevin Campbell. That concludes the championship. So this is Saturday's fixtures for League One. First up, we have a 0-0 between Lincoln City and Charlton Athletic. Not much to say there. Following that, we have Wigan Athletic 0, Leyton Orient 2. Goes from Sweeney in the 41st minute, and rounding off their win in the 92nd minute was Jayasimi. That's a hard one to pronounce. Jayasimi. Next up, I think you would have struggled there, Will, as well. Next up, we have Barnsley v Birmingham. The Barnsley goal was scored by Peake. And Birmingham's record signing Jay Stansfield was at the double. His first goal coming in the 60th minute before Adam Phillips was sent off in the 70th minute for Barnsley. And then Birmingham got their second 9 minutes later in the 79th, again through Stansfield to round off their victory. Rotherham and Blackpool was postponed due to the weather. We also have a postponement between Bristol Rovers and Bolton. Right, it was 1-0 between Wrexham and Burton. The Hollywood owners going great guns. Still, Elliot Lee with their goal, son of Rob Lee, in the 65th minute. Next up, we have an emphatic win for Cambridge against Shrewsbury. Cambridge winning that by 4-1. Goals coming from Lavery. He got a brace. Dan Underlew in the 42nd minute. And former Premier League player Elias Kachunga got the fourth in the 53rd minute. Lavery's brace coming in the first minute and the 30th minute. Dano Underlew scored in the 46th minute. Shrewsbury's solitary goal was a penalty from John Marquis in the 70th minute. Next up, we have a postponement between Crawley Town and Stevenage. The next in-game play was between Mansfield Town and Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield winning that by 2-1. Huddersfield's 2 goals came from Ben Wiles in the 8th minute and Josh Karoma in the 33rd minute. Mansfield's goal came in the 31st minute from Ush. I'm struggling with this one myself. Bloody hell. Usher JJ. Next up, we have Stockport 2, Exeter 0. The Stockport goals coming from a Cromer own goal in the 67th minute, and Louis Barry continuing his good form, scoring from a penalty spot in the 89th minute to seal the win for Stockport. Next up in League One, and the concluding fixture, we have a draw between high-flying Wycombe Wanderers and Young Guns Reading. Wycombe took the lead in the 18th minute thanks to Labula. Reading responded in the 30th minute thanks to Harvey Nibbs. And that concludes your League One fixtures for the weekend. Right, to round off the show as we always do is the League Two fixtures, starting with Crewe Alexandra v Bradford. It was another 1-1 draw, a reoccurring theme for the Railway men, it seems, at the moment. Omar Bogle got the Railway men firing them into a lead in the 47th minute. Alex Patterson, though, pegged them back in the 55th minute before he was sent off in the 57th minute, and the game ended 1-1. Next up, we have Crewe's rivals, Port Vale. They were playing Walsall. It was the final score was Port Vale 0, Walsall 1. The goals coming from Jamil Matt in the 51st minute. Next up, we have Accrington Stanley v Bromley v newly promoted Bromley. The goals coming from Ben Woods for Accrington in the 9th minute. I say Ben Woods. In fact, I don't know if his name's Ben. I believe it is. But Bromley scored their goals in the 7th minute through Michael Cheek, and their second came in the 63rd minute. Odetayu with the goal. Barrow and MK Dons was postponed. So next up we have Chesterfield 3 and Tranmere Rovers 0. Chesterfield's first goal came in the 29th minute through Cocklough. Dobra was in the 44th minute and rounding it off in the 86th minute for an emphatic victory was Drummond. Chesterfield doing well after being promoted last season. Next up, we have a score draw between Doncaster Rovers and Cheltenham Town. The goal scorers for the home team, Doncaster, was Broadbent in the 55th minute and Molyneux. For Cheltenham Town, Bailey scored an own goal in the 15th minute and Archer in the 56th minute. Score draw there, another Desmond, 2-2. Next up, we have Gillingham 1, Salford 0. Goal coming from Clark just past the half-time whistle in the 48th minute. Next up, we have Harrogate Town 0, AFC Wimbledon 3. Wimbledon's goals coming from Kelly in the 12th minute O'Toole in the 23rd minute and Stevens in the 50th. A statement win there. Next up, we have Morecambe versus Grimsby, another 3-0 win, this time for Grimsby. Obakui got a brace, his first goal coming in the 25th minute and the 39th minute, and then Rose made sure of all 3 points in the 91st minute. Next up, we have Swindon v Fleetwood to conclude your fixtures, because Newport v Carlisle and Notts County and Colchester were both postponed. So to conclude your fixtures is Swindon Town v Fleetwood. Ian Holloway's Swindon Town, no less. Their goals came from Smith, who got a hat-trick, the first of his 3 coming in the 8th minute, his second coming in the 28th minute, and the third coming in the 58th minute. There's something about the number 8 with that hat-trick, I think. For Fleetwood, Virtue Thick got their only goal in the 67th minute. So that concludes the fixtures from all of the top 4 divisions. So all that's left for me to say, unless you want to add anything more, Will?
No, but I'm just saying your Desmond Tutu joke was so funny, mate. I just didn't expect it. It was just so...
Well, I'm pleased I made you laugh. All that's left for me to say is thank you to Will. Thank you for your contribution.
Oh, thank you, mate. It's been too long for you, since you've last been on this show, and it's been so good. And I tell you what, folks, he's not rusty. No, he's been match fit from the start. He's not... You at least you've not been like the Luke Shaw of this show.
No, I haven't. I've tried to stay as consistent as possible, and thank you for your kind words, Will. And as I said earlier, I've enjoyed being back. And
thank you, mate. It's been a good show, and see you next time.
And all that's left for me to say is to the viewers of Will's channel, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.